Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's 11 o'clock at night on Friday, and it's been a super long day. I've been up since 6 a.m. I got a chance to be invited out to Roadkill Nights, the media event from Dodge, to get a first close-up personal view of the new 2024 Dodge Charger Daytona. I wrote a quick article, well, not a quick, but I spent most of the afternoon writing it. I wanted a detailed article about the car itself. I could care less about if it's an EV, if it's ICE powered. I wanted to give my impressions about this new car's design overall. And especially as being a former owner of a Charger and a 300, I've owned, three L series cars. So I wanted to give a good detailed look at this car. So if you really want to read more in depth than what I'm going to talk about, go over to Mopar Insiders and read it. I just want to go through the design of it real quick. I think they nailed it. It doesn't matter, like I said, if you're talking ICE or EV. I think this car will do great once people see it, and once it gets in the hands of people. I think it'll do fine. The key thing is pricing and interest rates. If we can get those down next year when the sedan and the six-pack models come out, I think Dodge will do no problem selling these cars. Even with Hemis, the outgoing Hemis, and people complaining about it not having a Hemi, I guarantee these cars will sell good. Exterior design, about 85% of the exterior design came over from the concept. We don't see carbon fiber trim panels anywhere, except for if you get the carbon in suede package where you get carbon fiber mirrors. But now, one thing that I really loved about the design of the car is we're in the current Challenger, or on the outgoing Challenger, where you have the plastic rockers. Everything on this car is painted. So meaning, even though it's like a two-tone paint scheme, all the rockers and stuff on this car are painted gloss black. So the car looks, first of all, when you see it, it looks way more finished. It doesn't look as cheap. Overall, the front design, it still looks like the concept. It doesn't have the LED matrix headlights that I really loved in the concept. I'm hoping those will be for the Banshee, the 800 volt car. But the 400 volt cars all get LED reflective headlights, which I didn't like in pictures. I've seen plenty of prototypes running around, but I never really got to see the headlights up close. They look fine. I was really impressed with the front end design of the car. It does have the R-Wing. Obviously, everybody knows that. And when the ICE models hit with the Hurricane engines, they'll get a Power Dome hood, which looks really good in a couple photos I've seen. So I'm hoping the cool thing is both cars will be very distinctive, even though they share a lot of the same panels and stuff. So you'll be able to tell, hey, that's a gas-powered car and that's an electric car. But the R-Wing is very cool. The frunk under the hood, it's not that big. You could probably put a helmet in it, and maybe a couple towels. It's not that big. So it's not really usable. But they made it easy underneath the hood so you can fill your windshield washer fluid and people can service it pretty easy. Overall, the side profile, the car sits on a 121-inch wheelbase. So you're 5 inches longer than the outgoing Challenger. So if you're ever thinking about having to buy a coupe and you carry people with you, now you have the same wheelbase as the sedan. So you got 5 more inches of actual leg room in the back. The side windows, a lot of people complained that they weren't retro enough, and that they're not going for a retro look for the car. I mean, the front looks retro, but they're trying to blend it with a modern look. I would say that the rear windows kind of look awkward because it kind of looks like it's ready for a sedan because it's built on the same wheelbase. But I didn't get to sit in the back, but I put my head in the back of the car, and those windows with the longer wheelbase and how they're shaped, if you sat in the back of a Challenger, you were pretty claustrophobic. You could fit adults back there, but you're crammed, and you're very claustrophobic. Because, the windows came up to here on you, and the headroom was back. Now that it's a hatch, you have a lot more headroom in the back. The windows are a lot bigger, and you got more leg room. So this car is going to be great for those who want to use it as a daily driver and who take passengers with them occasionally. So it's going to be great. It'll make people think twice about getting a coupe. Again, the sedan's going to come out in Q1 of 2025, so that will be even a better option for families. But if you're thinking about getting a muscle car, like a two-door muscle car, this is the one to get if you're going to carry people. The side profile, a lot of people, like I said, didn't like Scat. Thought the car was missing scallops on the side, and because the outgoing car had them and whatnot, and the 60s cars had them, the 70s, some of the 70s cars had them. The car has a Coke bottle shape to it. I originally thought about the scallops on the side of the car, and I was like, yeah, it's kind of missing them. After spending time with, they had 8 models on display today. It looks perfect. It doesn't need scallops. The car is very clean. At the back of the car, a lot of people were questioning the fact that they went to a hatchback design. It's hard to tell from the side and the back that it's a hatch. The glass, it's kind of funny how the glass comes down. The rear windows have like a flying buttress kind of look where the rear C-pillar sits out a little bit, kind of like the outgoing cars did. You do have a deck lid, but it's very short. It's not like super short, but it's probably about 3/4 the size of the current Charger trunk. But the cool thing is when you open that glass, you get a ton of accessible room in there. And the really cool thing is the rear seats fold flat with the actual hatchback area. So you have a completely flat load area, and you got tons of room. And I guarantee there's probably more room than what my Durango has with the third row down. I mean, it's got tons of room. So those people who are up in the air about getting a car and want an SUV and stuff, they're going to love this car. If you don't have to haul stuff all the time, you're going to absolutely love this car. I was going to say, the back of the car, if you're a fan of the 2011 to 2014 cars, it looks very much like my old 2014 car. Even the how the rear fenders come out and go down on a slant and then drop down, it looks a lot like a 2014 rear to end design. It's got the racetrack taillights. The biggest change on the exterior design from the concept has to be the Fratsonic chambered exhaust. In the concept, it had metal trim accents around it and was pushed in and kind of looked like a rear valance to the car. Where now it's flush. Well, it's kind of indented a little bit, but it's not like recessed. And it's gloss black, just like the rockers and stuff are. And I would say it's got the same grille treatment as the front lower grille does too. So it looks very finished. There's a glass roof option. I did like the glass roof. It's a very nice option. Opens up the interior really nice, but I wish it kind of had a sunroof instead of just being glass. That was one of the complaints I had about it. Interior-wise, it is night and day difference from the cars that we are used to. Gone is that elephant skin rubberized dash, and now it's like leather trimmed. If you get the carbon suede package, you get like carbon fiber accents on it. It's kind of like a 2-tiered level dash. You got like an upper and then the mid IP, and it looks really, really good. And I did not like the concept, like originally when I seen it. I was like, I'm not a huge fan of tablet designs. Dodge did a really good job. If you look at a new 2024 Ford Mustang, it looks just like somebody threw tablets in there. You got a driver or a gauge tablet, and then you just got a normal tablet for the IP. Dodges are kind of curved, and they have the actual center IP is tilted a little bit, so it's kind of like driver oriented. It actually looks a lot better than what I thought. It's a 12.3 inch screen, but it's very long and like narrow. But I really like the layout of it. The start button is now moved behind the shifter. The shifter, they say it looks like a pistol grip shifter. I wouldn't say it's so much a pistol grip. It kind of looks like one, but it's kind of like very modern. But I mean, it looks good. The whole car looks good. It's got physical buttons in it, which is what everybody loves about Dodge when they put stuff in it. The gauge display looks nice. It doesn't look like it's just a tablet thrown in there. And that was the big thing. The steering wheel, I will tell you, all the buttons are kind of laid out in that familiar Chrysler layout. The door panels are kind of like on a slant. You have the same kind of controls. None of the buttons are carryover. So the car is like almost completely new with everything. I think maybe the rear view mirror is like probably much, I think maybe the only thing that is carried over. It might not even be the rear view mirror. But there's not much carried over. It might be seat belts or something, but that's it. The one thing I wasn't a huge fan of is the new sport bucket seats. They have these new high back sport bucket seats, and they're really cool looking, but they don't have adjustable headrest. The lower level cars do, and their seats are very compatible with what we're used to on the RTs, like of the outgoing ones. They have adjustable headrest. They look more comfortable, so I like that option. But fit and finish, I will say it is night and day difference. Whoever their supplier is, these cars were pre-production, but they were built in Windsor, and whoever their supplier is did an excellent job. You don't see fit and finish like I did on these cars for usual like pre-production cars. So I was really impressed with that. Again, I think the layout of the cars are great. I could care less if it's EV or ICE. I'm not a huge EV person just because it doesn't fit my lifestyle. I can't wait to see the Hurricane ones. As long as pricing and interest rates come down, which I hope they do after November, these cars will sell. I think people will like them. Once people get like to actually see them in person and check them out, especially the gas models, I think they'll do really good. Other than that, I would rate the cars, if I had a scale of 1 to 10, I would rate them at 8.2. There's some things that could be changed. Like I said, there's some things I'm finicky about. But overall, the design, they knocked it out of the park. I think it we'll always have a special spot in our hearts for the outgoing cars. But I think the new Charger is going to be something that people will love and will be disappointed when it goes away. Just like how the other cars were. But yeah, I think they did a great job, and I can't say enough about it. So if you want to read my whole article about the cars, go over to Mopar Insiders. There's pictures on there. I took actual pictures of the cars. You can see the frunk, you can see the hatch, you can see all that stuff. And it has nothing to do with powertrains and stuff. It's all about the car's design. So take a look at that. I'll be at Roadkill Nights tomorrow. I'm exhausted. I'm going to hit the hay. It's like a quarter after 11 right now. And I got to get up at 6 in the morning. But it should be a really fun time. I'm probably going to post some videos live from there. So stay tuned. And I'll see you tomorrow. Night.